Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is April 13th, 2023, and Barcelona have given the green light to Jorge Mendes to look for a new club for Ansu Fati. Also, Pablo Torre could be on his way out of the club next summer. And finally, the club have identified a new target in the Brazilian market, a 17-year-old center forward. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. Before we begin with the news, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Also, if you're looking to buy any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kickback. The link is down below in the description. Now, we'll begin with the news that Barcelona are currently at the top of La Liga with 72 points, 13 points ahead of Real Madrid. And that's the same thing that's happening in the Women's League, where the Barcelona Femení are also at the top of their corresponding league, 72 points, 13 ahead of second place, which is also Real Madrid. Now, the Barcelona Femení will be playing against Atletico de Madrid during this weekend, where they will be able to clinch La Liga title. And so far, they are having a perfect run in the Women's League, having won every single match. Now, the men's team, of course, are going to be facing off against Getafe this weekend in what will be match number 29 of this season. Now, on to the news that Barcelona have reportedly given the green light to Jorge Mendes, who is Ansu Fati's agent, so he can begin looking for a new club for the Barcelona player. Now, as you already know, Ansu Fati has not been having a good season, and he doesn't seem to be able to recover his previous form from before all the injuries and the knee surgeries that he's had. And it looks like Barcelona are now considering selling him, since he has been underperforming for quite some time, since Barcelona need to reduce their wage bill by 200 million euros come this summer. And they know Ansu Fati does have a decent market value, which could help him achieve this goal. Now, Ansu Fati's market value has gone down by a lot. It used to be around 80, 90 million euros, but after the injuries, it has gone down for as low as 35 million euros. And it's reported that Barcelona would be willing to accept an offer for Ansu Fati for around 35 to 40 million euros. Now, there are several clubs interested in signing Ansu Fati, including Tottenham Hotspurs, Manchester United, and Bayern Munich. So we're going to have to see where Ansu Fati will end up this summer. Now, this doesn't mean that Ansu Fati will for sure be leaving the club. If he does end up proving himself towards the end of the season, then Xabi could consider keeping him. But of course, it's all going to depend on the player and how well he performs in this last stretch of the season. Now, it's reported that if Barcelona can wrap up La Liga title before the end of the season, that Xabi could give Ansu Fati more playing time to see if he can prove himself. So again, we're going to have to wait and see what happens with the La Masia former Prodigy. Now, another player that could be leaving the club during this summer is Pablo Torre, but this will not be on a permanent transfer. However, it will be on loan, as Barcelona think that Pablo Torre cannot go another season without playing time. Now, Pablo Torre was signed as a Barca Athletic player with the idea that he would train with the first team and play some minutes with the first team. But unfortunately, that hasn't happened given the high competition in the midfield, and also because of Pablo Torre's indiscipline, where Barcelona wanted him to play with Barca Athletic on several occasions, but he either refused or coincidentally got injured at the same time. Now, Barcelona have had several conversations with Pablo Torre, telling him that he needs to go back down and play with Barca Athletic so he can get playing time, so he can continue growing and development, given that he's only 19 years old and he's at a critical stage of his career. But Pablo Torre has continued to refuse to play with Barca Athletic, despite the several conversations that the club have had with him. Now, Barcelona now consider that Pablo Torre cannot go another season without playing time. So they are consider loaning him next summer. And there are clubs in the Premier League, including Rangers, who would like to take Pablo Torre on loan. But it's reported that Barcelona would rather loan him to another team in La Liga. And that is not going to be a problem, because there are several teams in the Spanish league who have asked about Pablo Torre, including Osasuna, Villarreal, Celta, and Almeria. Now, Barcelona will prioritize whichever club has the best project and are willing to give Pablo Torre the most playing time, because they want Pablo Torre to go on a successful loan where he can get as much playing time as possible so he can continue growing and development, kind of like what happened with Abde, where he went to Osasuna and he has been getting plenty of playing time. And as a result, Abde has improved a lot during this season. Now on to the news that Vitor Roque has reportedly told his father once again that all he wants is to go play in Barcelona and that he wants his father to do everything in his power to make this happen. Now, as I reported previously, Vitor Roque's father was on a European tour where he visited the clubs such as Chelsea, PSG, and Arsenal, and he concluded that tour in Barcelona, where he met with the club and let them know that Vitor Roque would like to play in Barcelona, and where he also transmitted Atlético Paranaense's request, which is that for Alemany and Cruyff to personally travel to Brazil in order to meet with the club's directors and negotiate the signing of Vitor Roque in person. Now, Atlético Paranaense want around 45 to 50 million euros for Vitor Roque, which Barcelona are not too sure that they can afford that price. But nonetheless, it seems that Vitor Roque has told his father once again that he wants to go to Barcelona and he wants his father to do everything in his power to make his dream happen. This is, of course, great news for Barcelona, because if the player puts his foot down and insists on only going to Barcelona, that would force Atlético Paranaense to only negotiate with Barcelona, which would give more leverage to the club and allow Barcelona to negotiate a better price rather than a bidding war where all clubs around Europe are going to be offering higher and higher prices, then driving the price away from Barcelona. Now, speaking of Brazilian players, Barcelona have identified a new target in the Brazilian market, and this target is Kawa Elias. Now, Elias is a 17-year-old center forward who currently plays for Fluminense, and it seems that the Barcelona scouts are very impressed with this attacker, saying that he has very good technical abilities, and even though he's right-footed, he's a player that can finish goals with both feet, and who also has a very keen eye for scoring goals. Now, Elias is currently playing with the under-20 team of Fluminense, and he's currently also playing with the Brazilian under-17 team in the South American Championship in Ecuador, and it seems that he's been doing so well that Fluminense are planning that upon the return of the player from this championship, that he will be promoted to the first team. Now, Barcelona are currently tracking several players in South America, and they've actually increased their efforts to try to identify young talents in the South American continent. And they have, of course, identified Vitor Roque, Gianluca Prestiani, and now Elias is the latest target that Barcelona are hoping to monitor over the next year. Now, the reason I say over the next year is because Elias is only 17 years old and he won't turn 18 until next March of 2024. So until then, Barcelona will not be able to sign him, because you do have to be 18 years old in order to make a jump to European football. Now, on to the news that the operation to try to bring Lionel Messi back to the club is currently on hold, as Barcelona are still working on the viability plan, which they plan to present to La Liga's president, Javier Tebas. Now, as I reported previously, Barcelona are currently working on a viability plan to present to Javier Tebas to show him that the club are working on several things in order to bring back the club on the right course financially, such as renewing their publicity contracts for higher revenues, getting more sponsorships, and offloading players and decreasing salaries to show La Liga that the club are on track to recuperate their financial health. And they are planning to introduce this plan to Javier Tebas to see if Javier Tebas would be willing to loosen the financial fair play restrictions on the club, allowing them to sign players this summer and allowing them 2 seasons instead of 1 in order to reduce that wage bill by 200 million euros. Now, it's reported that part of this viability plan that Barcelona are hoping to introduce to Javier Tebas is the plan to sign Lionel Messi, because Messi would bring a lot of revenue to the club through sponsorship and merchandise sales. And since Barcelona are still working on this viability plan, the operation to bring Lionel Messi back is currently on hold. Now, since the operation to bring Messi back is currently on hold, it's reported that Joan Laporta is yet to call Lionel Messi personally, and this seemed to be one of the requirements for Messi to come back to the club, because the two need to talk in order to close the wound that's been open since Messi was forced to leave Barcelona and join PSG. Now, Xavi's entourage are reporting that Xavi continues to have communications with Messi on a pretty constant basis. And it seems that during these conversations that Messi continues to talk about Barcelona like he's a fan, where he refers to Barcelona like, yes, we played very good matches, or yes, the team played good, or yes, we won, or oh no, we lost, referring to Barcelona as if it was still his team. And it's reported that this has given Xavi a lot of hope that Messi will end up in Barcelona, which is Messi's rightful home. Now we will end today's video with a positive note, with the news that Vinicius Jr. has had some pretty wonderful words to talk about Ronald Araujo, where Vinicius Jr. praised the Uruguayan defender, saying that he is the best player to ever mark him, and he is a wonderful defender, and that is why he plays for FC Barcelona. Now, this is very refreshing to hear Vinicius Jr. saying these nice words about Ronald Araujo, given that Vinicius is mostly known for constantly taunting players, taunting coaches, and even taunting fan bases. And it's nice to see there is still some good sportsmanship amongst players, which seems to be disappearing as time passes by, especially in the case of Valverde, where the entire Santiago Bernabeu applauded him for punching another player in the face, which is absolutely unacceptable. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I'd like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, peace, Barca.